Have you ever been on a fantastic adventure? Maybe you have been to a place that captured your imagination, or maybe you explore amazing places in your dreams. Saskatoon-based artist Amalie Atkins uses real places and stories to inspire her dreamlike films and installations. Atkins' work blends her Prairie upbringing, handmade aesthetic, and passion for storytelling. You might recognize places in her films as familiar sights in the beautiful Saskatchewan River Valley. But her characters are unlike any people you could meet in real life. To prepare for her film, The Diamond Eye Assembly, which premiered at Remai Modern, Amalie Atkins made a map of her fantastical film world. She worked with a local printmaker, Michael Peterson, to turn her collage map into an art print, seen here. I'll show you how to collage a fantasy map based on your own dream adventures. We'll begin by gathering our supplies to collage our own maps. Then we'll discuss how to mind map or brainstorm our story by asking who, when, where, why, and how. Next, I'll show you a real map for inspiration. Then we'll make our collage maps based on our brainstorm. You'll need a background for your map, colorful papers to make the land, and old books or magazines for your characters. Finally, you can use your map to tell a story about your fantastic adventure. I've gathered my supplies to show you what we'll be using today. Colorful paper, recycled books, or tissue paper for our collaging. Newsprint or cardstock for the background of your map. A sketchbook for brainstorming. Drawing supplies like markers, pencil, pen, and stencils. Stickers, glue, tape, and scissors. Many artists begin their projects with a brainstorm. Ask yourself, where would I like to travel? Who would I like to go with? How will we get there? Why would you like to travel there? When would you like to go? A good way to keep track of these answers is with a mind map. If you prefer to just wing it, you can skip ahead in the video and begin your map. For the rest of us who like to plan, follow these steps to make a mind map. In the middle, you can write where your map will take you. Now in the top left-hand corner, write who. On the right, say how. The bottom left, why, and on the bottom right, when. I've filled out my mind map with a plan for my project. I'm basing my map on a real-life adventure I had this summer, so at the center of my page I wrote McLean Lake. We'll talk more about what I wrote in a minute, but first I'd like to show you a real-life map of McLean Lake. This is a canoe map of McLean Lake. You can see that this map has a key or legend that gives you clues about where to travel. This map has a legend or a key that includes symbols to help you on your trip. Symbols are simple images that help us understand bigger ideas. So this map tells us where campsites are, different ways to travel, and where islands have been burned out by forest fires. The most important part of the map is that it tells us about where we are. To choose a background paper, consider where and when you will be traveling. Are you traveling back in time? Maybe you want to choose a paper that looks old. Or if you're traveling in the winter, maybe you want to choose a paper that looks wintry. Will you be folding your map, or do you want it to be sturdy and durable? I went to a lake in the summertime, so I'm choosing a deep purple paper. It matches the dark color of the lakes that I traveled on. My paper is soft, so I can roll it or fold it. There are many rocky islands on this lake, covered in moss, pines, and spruce. So I ripped my islands from white, gray, and green papers and glued them onto my background. These papers are recycled from old wallpaper books. When you collage, it's fun to mix texture and cuts. You can add natural variety to your paper by ripping it rather than making clean cuts with scissors. How will you be traveling on your adventure? By foot, car, plane, boat, hot air balloon, dog sled, Pegasus, pirate ship? Asking how you will travel can help you decide the scale for your map. Is it a map of the whole world seen from space? Is it a map of your city block or your grandma's farm? I traveled by canoe, so I will make my map similar to the real map I have here. I cut the shape of a canoe from red paper to represent how I traveled. I'm not gluing my canoe to my paper because I want to move it across the map. Who will you be going on your adventure with? Is it a solo trip? Did you go with your pets, your friends, and your family? Are you on this adventure alone? You can have fun with making your own characters. Maybe you would like to draw them on a different paper and cut them out. I took my characters from an old book I bought at a thrift store. I glued some of my characters down to my map, but I'm leaving these loose so I can tell the story of their adventure. Why are you traveling? This is where you can really let your imagination loose. Is there someone you need to rescue? Is there treasure you need to find? Is there a secret place you are trying to reach? Is there a villain you must defeat? Is there trouble along the way? Asking why helps us tell our story and make a special key for our map. Now I've filled out my map with special symbols to help tell the story of why I was traveling. I've left my characters loose so I can use them to tell the story too. And my canoe so I can travel the path of the adventure. I used my stickers to mark out different important sites on the map, like where to camp, where to fish, where to find the rock paintings, and I used tape to mark the path that my characters will travel across the map. I hope you enjoyed making a fantasy map with me. Be sure to check out Amalie Atkins' audio guide and read more about her artwork on RemaiModern.org. Have fun, make art, and we'll see you here at Remai Modern soon.